Shucky ducky quack quack. Smells so good. I'm taking it all in.
What y'all laughing at?
All new Family Feud.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm getting scared.
Brought to you by We Are the Caring Store, waiting to serve you. It's time to experience independent living. Visit us today.
So, I'm sure you took her to a doctor, and what did he say?
He said that she had a hole in her heart. She's a blue baby.
I thought I would find my papa, but I didn't. I found Uncle Jungly instead.
I will divorce her. It's what you want.
Ganga. Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
Thanks so much for joining us for CVM News Afternoon this Friday, April 25, 2025. I'm Caroline Brown. And we start on a positive note as the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James has reopened its general administration block. Now, this comes amidst an overall transformation of the hospital's operations. The Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, spoke at the ribbon-cutting ceremony, saying this is a good day for the people of St. James, with more developments to come.
And so we're under no illusions that the work is complete. And I don't want the impression to be given that somehow we can drop hand because all is good and all is great. And I don't want to project that either to the populace or to the people of Western Jamaica. It is a lot of humility that we come here to celebrate the small wins that combined will become the big win. And the big win obviously means a win, not just for the staff who are here, but for the people, importantly, who will benefit. So yes, it has taken time for us to get here with Cornwall Regional. Yes, the journey has not been without challenges, and we recognize that. But importantly, as a juxtaposing to that reality, is that we took a decision to do it right.
And to another follow-up, with calls resurfacing for the reinstatement of the Office of the Political Ombudsman, the OPO, after the government transferred its functions to the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, the ECJ, in 2024. In a CVM News exclusive, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck expresses frustration with the ECJ for not fulfilling its agreed responsibilities.
First of all, I'm a little disappointed that the ECJ has not made any pronouncement on the role that it should play for the political ombudsman, which was subsumed with it. We didn't put it there just like that. We had discussions with the ECJ, and they acknowledged and accepted the role before we passed the legislation. After we passed the legislation, I am aware that funding was provided to the ECJ to ensure that an office of a political ombudsman could function. I cannot tell you what has happened. I'm just, like everyone else, a little disappointed that nothing has happened. But I have no doubt that the ECJ is not only capable, but is the most appropriate body to take on this role of good political conduct.
But former political ombudsman Donna Parchment Brown says she's surprised by the Justice Minister's announcement regarding an allocation of funds to the ECJ to carry out the previous functions of the political ombudsman.
So I was a bit taken aback when the minister spoke about $60 million being allocated to the ECJ to carry out the function of the political ombudsman. He mentioned that in 23-24, 46 million was allocated, which included rent. Let me make it clear, I left the office in 2022. And up to that time, there had never been an allocation above 25 million. So that 46 million in the year when the office was vacant, it's hard for me to understand what that could be for.
Yes.
And as for the 60 million to the ECJ, where one of the points about it is that we needed to save money. All the commissioners of the ECJ are already being paid. The few staff of the political ombudsman office were sent off without being paid any redundancy. 2 of them sent on retirement without getting any gratuities or any compensation.
Yes.
So, you know, that I was a bit alarmed to hear about that 46 million in the year after I left office and there was no ombudsman.
The post office Jamaica Post will in 2026 celebrate 355 years, which, as sales and marketing manager Ragan Witter acknowledges, makes the organization over a century older than the United States of America, which will celebrate its 250th year on July 4, also in 2026.
Consider that. So we've been here from, right around the 17th century, and essentially we are the preferred logistics partner. And so we're responsible for the delivery of mail, packages, and mail items. So whatever you want to do, once it involves logistics, Jamaica Post is your preferred logistics partner because we offer the solutions around that.
And at a time when the entity has occupied its space, he rubbishes any suggestion that Jamaica Post is no longer viable, noting such assumption would be based on ignorance, as he sets the record straight.
Now, many persons may have the misguided, misnomer that we are dying, and it's not even remotely true. We do more than just mail. We offer commercial services, which means that if you are shopping online and you want items to be delivered to Jamaica, Jamaica Post through Click and Ship Express will give you a US shipping address. It's tax-free shipping. You don't pay taxes to ship to the warehouse in Miami, and you're able to collect it in just 3 days after, and you collect it through virtually any post office in the island. That's just one thing. 2, if you're on the road and you'd like to pay a bill, you can stop at any post office essentially and pay a wide selection of bills. And if you'd like packages to move from point A to point B, the length of breadth of Jamaica, you do that through Zip Mail, which is our local courier service. And for the entrepreneurs and the solopreneurs, if you want international shipping solutions, go to any post office, bring your items that you'd like to send anywhere in the world, and the post office will do that to you, for you through Fast Track, or you can send it as a mail or parcel.
Stay with us. We invite you to join us for our discussion segment up next.
On our roads, remember, take time, be courteous, drive good, walk good. Don't drink alcohol and drive. Don't drive tired or sleepy. Don't tailgate and don't overtake unless it is safe to do so. And always drive at a speed which will allow you time to stop quickly and safely. Let's keep it safe on our roads.
You ever get bun yet? Me not talk about heartbreak. Me talk about the bun with full of spice, raisins, and the perfect glaze.
Bun for bun.
So you do it now.
You have to get bun.
This Easter, you have to get bun from Mother's Bakery.
Things can change in an instant while you are on the go. Caught up in your own world. Things are happening all around you. Don't miss out on the most important update. You, pedestrians, look out before you step out. A message from the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport.
Welcome back. As promised, it's time for our discussion segment. Now, Jamaica's age of retirement currently stands at 65 years old. However, the Health Ministry recently recommended to the Senate Committee on the Care of the Elderly to have it increased. The reason? To reduce the risk of old age poverty and to allow old seniors to stay financially independent much longer. Now, joining us to weigh in on this discussion is founder and executive chair of the Caribbean Community of Retired Persons, the CCRP, Jean Laurie Chin. Good afternoon, Jean. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Caroline. It's a pleasure.
Great. First of all, for persons who don't know, the age of retirement here in Jamaica, how does this compare to elsewhere in the region?
It's about the same in the region, but I'm noting from some statistics I have that in Mexico it's over 70. In South Korea, it's 71 for men and 67 for women. In Japan, it's 69 for men, 66 for women. And then in some other countries, it's predicated on the number of years of service that they give. I believe that you can get excellent performance from people up to the age of 70. And therefore, I think maybe we could raise it to 67, but make it optional for persons who would wish to work until they're 70. Because yes, there is a point there about not being able to manage on pensions. Pensions are static and the cost of living is not. So I believe maybe 67, but given an option to work until 70.
So
also,
go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, companies have actually been approaching CCRP to advertise vacancies. And we have been doing that. And the feedback we have got is how impressed they are with the caliber of persons who have applied and who they have happily given employment to. And these are persons who are over the age of retirement. So it shows the public that our seniors still have a lot to offer.
Definitely. Now, would shifting the age of retirement therefore be the best solution to solving family abandonment and poverty issues?
I think there are so many other factors that cause family abandonment. And this is why we have been, since 2017, advocating for an Elderly Care and Protection Act. Because, of course, one of the abuses of the elderly is neglect, which is abandonment. And there are cases where people just cannot work after a certain age. Illness may intervene, all sorts of problems may come up. And these are the people who have worked for their families and for their communities and for the country, and they have to be protected.
Speaking of then, therefore, according to the ministry, now there's a lack of enforcement with existing laws to protect the elderly. How can laws like the Maintenance Act, for example, be better enforced, you think, to ensure families support their aging relatives?
Well, in our submission to the Senatorial Select Committee, we have asked for a court or at least a division of the family court to deal with these matters. Because, our elderly, sometimes they are afraid, they are intimidated, and therefore I think if they have to go in an open court, it may be a bit difficult for them. And also, I think the legal aid clinic should offer free services to such persons. I can say that our National Council for Senior Citizens has been very proactive in looking out for elderly abuse. We have collaborated with them on situations that we have found, but I think we're going to have to empower our elderly. The system will have to be more friendly and supportive for these cases to enforce the Maintenance Act.
Jean, there's a push also to create a unified Elderly Care and Protection Act. What would you like to see included? Just before you answer that, I think
we've actually made
just before you answer, I want to go to a quick break. Stay with us and think about it. We'll come back in just a moment.
The Time is brought to you by Ford Territory.
Glad you stayed with us. We went to the break with a question to Jean Laurie Chin that there's a push to create a unified Elderly Care and Protection Act. And I want to find out from her what she would like to see included. Jean?
Yes, we made a 20-page submission, Caroline, to that select committee, the special select committee. Our submission was based on reports that we have noted on elderly abuse and cases that have required our own intervention. We also noted the fact that seniors aged 60 and over accounted for 17% of our population. And that age group is the fastest growing demographic in Jamaica today. And the UN has identified 5 types of abuse that we believe that there should be laws to effectively punish perpetrators. These are physical, psychological or emotional, sexual, financial, and neglect. And of course, the matter of abandonment, that is neglect. So we have requested that this act should make effective provision for the care and protection of seniors from all kinds of abuse. Make it clear that all persons, even if it's a neighbor, they have the duty to report all instances of suspected abuse of the elderly. And this obtains, as you may know, under the Child Care and Protection Act. If you know of abuse of a child and you do not report it, you are liable. And this should be applied to this proposed legislation.
A good point here.
We asked for a commission, yes.
No, I was just saying it's a good point to probably remind us of some numbers or email addresses in a while as you continue to respond.
Yes. We have asked for a commission and a court which would have the capacity to monitor, investigate, and establish perpetrators. We wanted standards established for care facilities, such as infirmaries and private care homes. Now, the minister recently said that only 10% of our care homes have been registered with the government. And we have heard some horror stories about some of these care homes. And I know that the National Council for Senior Citizens is also concerned about this. And they have an office in every single parish. So I think that if their representatives could be trained to do some level of monitoring, it would contribute to the safety of the residents in these homes. We also think that we have also asked for amenities at public places, including hospitals, offices, clinics, tax office, and banks, such as ramps, seating, water coolers. And we also pointed to the difficulties that seniors are having to get their life certificates signed, and we're glad to hear that there will be an easier alternative to this. But the main thing is that we really have to look out more, all of us, for our seniors. And we're going to get there one day, if God provides. So this law is not just for the